All right, just a refresher on the assignment that we have due, and maybe some of the smaller things that we went through last night. So construct 3, you're going to navigate to construct 3. It's probably going to be best to bookmark that thing, or did I already? No. So I'm going to say construct, because it's all cloud-based, and you're just going to need the link anyway. So went ahead. Where the heck did it? It's on up here somewhere. There we go. So now it's bookmarked. You just click on it, off you go. I am already signed in, as you can see up here, Brian J. Seeley. Do the same thing. Remember to make a register for account. You'll get 50 free events, which are really going to go a long way. But you start a new project, name it. Remember, you don't have to worry too much about the title right now. Just keep that trucking. This year, we're going to discuss more about platforms and classes coming up. But for now, all I want you to do is, I'm just going to pick landscape. Pick whichever you'd like. And optimize for that. Not a big deal if you don't. Okay, and here's that design space that we talked about. Got our properties over here. You see the name of my project is here. And everything, if I click here, see how it went to that? Now it changes to here. And if I want to do project properties, like this is the name of my project, the version, I can talk about descriptions and the ID and all those things. Here's the background color. A lot of things that we can do here, which we will in the future. But for now, let's stick to this in our layout properties. I see that I'm on a layout one right now, and I have an event sheet. Do not deal with much with that, because what I'd like you to do is start off organizing. Now, one thing that you see over here in your project files is you see this is the name of our thing, truck, and then it has these layouts. There isn't really a library per se. We're going to be creating a lot of things, characters, maybe trees or bushes or bullets and weapons. So we need somewhere to kind of store all that, not only so we know where it's at and we can draw it, but also if we need to use somewhat like in an event sheet, if we're going to create an action. See this like on collision with monster, and then there's bullet. We need to have those things because you don't necessarily need them on stage. You just need a library of them. And that's what we're going to do now, okay? So go over here, click on layouts, right click and say add layout. And I don't want to add an event sheet to this. I simply just want a layout where I can begin to draw a bunch of sprites or all kinds of stuff. And I'm going to lay them in OBJ. I'm just going to keep it short for object and make sure that I'm clicked on it, okay? And you can see that I'm clicked on it because I say object OBJ, and if I look over here, it says name to my layout OBJ. If I was on the first one, you could see that it's layout 1. So just go ahead and stay on this object. Okay? Now to create a sprite, which we're going to do a ton of, remember, all you have to do is click here in this white space, double click, and this wizard comes up, create new object type. And there is going to be tons when it comes to this, right? The only thing we're really going to do is make sprites for a while. There's other things, and you could see particles, you could see mouse, keyboard, you could see game recorder, all of these things that we're going to be able to do, just not yet, okay? You can see, and just real quick when I'm talking about platforms, you can see that you can make something for Facebook, the Game Center, Google Play. It's really crazy the stuff that you can do for this, and we're going to do it all. I'm going to show you at least how to do it all. So first thing is you click on a sprite. Really get in a habit of naming these things. They really set it up nice here. The moment I select sprite, do you see I just clicked it once? Now I can name it. So I'm going to call it trucker. And I'm just going to say insert. It doesn't automatically put it on there, right? So now I have to click on it. By clicking on it, I get this that we went through class. See that? I get this wonderful thing. All of this stuff up here that you can do stuff with. Here's your drawing. And right now, for some reason, this is toggled on, so I'm going to turn that off. I want to resize this because I want to make it a truck, right? So here's my resize. And undo 525, 325. And all this stuff is what it is. So here it is. Now if I start drawing and my truck becomes smaller than this, I can go ahead up here and I can just crop it. So don't worry about making things specific just yet. What I will want you to do is I talked yesterday about importing an image, which you can up here. This folder. You could import an image for those of you that want to do this in Photoshop or Illustrator. You can do that. Or if you wanted to trace, you can. But for now, I don't want you to do that. I want you to really get used to using this editor here, okay? Because this editor is something you're going to want to make a tree or a flower or a vine or maybe even just a box, right? And doing it here in this editor is just going to be so much quicker, so much more reliable, and it's just something we should really get used to doing, okay? So with that in mind, what I did was I went there on the internets and see this truck here. I'm pretty sure you can see this. I'm just going to recreate this truck right here, something similar to it anyway. And I'm going to use it as a guide on another screen off to the side. And you could do the same thing, or you could import it, whatever it is you want to do. And just start drawing, okay? So you saw that my truck had a nice little square bed to it. And you do that down here. So you see that when I pick this square, I have an option of border thickness, okay? So which I'll do, maybe I'll do a 5. And then I have a fill and a border, okay? I want a border for this one just for funsies. And then you can see down here, I have black and then the blue. Whatever the foreground one is, that is going to be your fill, and in the background is going to be your, what the heck do you call it? The border, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick that, and then I'll click this over here, and I'll make this some sort of blue as well. There. So that looks nice. I want the darker one to be that. Or not. I don't know. So there it is. So now when I go to make my truck, and I'm going to make it pretty big. So I'm going to do my truck about yay big right there. Okay. And then the other part of this thing is I like to use the 8-bit look and feel, right? So I'm going to do that now. And doing the 8-bit is nothing more than grabbing, like, I'm going to use this right here. And then it's just using these squares here, right? And I'm a click guy, so I'm just going to, I don't have that steady hand, or do I? Can I hold shift? No. So I can do the best that I can to make kind of a line here. Hey, that's not bad. That's not bad. Okay, good. And then I'm just going to kind of click through here and make an outline, right? So making an outline is your best bet, because when you have that outline, you can then go back and just fill it up with any color. I'm going to do this as fast as I can without ruining it, so you guys can see that I actually have 8-bit skills. Okay, that's a good looking truck so far, right? And I'm just going to drag this across because of other things that I need to do. So there you go. So now I have this little box area, and then to speed things up, it's still going to stay gray, right? Because that's my fill. There we go. So now I got that filled up. I can quickly go back. You see that white there. Why it didn't happen, I don't know. And there we go. Okay, so we're halfway there. We're 35% of the way there. So I got that. I'm going to go ahead and add some things if you remember what the truck looked like. I'm going to do some white stuff here. Don't want a border on this one. This is going to be, I don't know if this is some sort of company logo. Like, I don't think I'm going to get sued for using this. Okay, and I'm going to do some lines here too. I think the line, what's a line? What color is that going to be? Like, oh, maybe that. If you hold in shift, if you're using lines, hold in shift, it'll keep it nice and straight for you. I have no rational reason for the things that I'm doing right now. It's just kind of sort of looks like that on the other truck that you just saw, so I'm just doing it. Okay, there we go. It's a truck. I'm going to add one more line up here. Truck. Okay, let's see. I'm going to go back now. I'm going to get myself kind of a blue. And go back to the square. I don't want the border again because now I got to make my windshield. Okay, my goodness gracious, it's almost like we're driving right now. I add a little bit more detail to this just because. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, wow, killing it. Now, let's see, I want to go ahead and, this is going to be a pain. How do I do this here? I'm going to pick this line. No, this one right here. Oh, nope, don't like that. Maybe over here. Nope, don't like that. Maybe up here more. Yeah. It's a good looking wheel. Where did I do that? Right about here. There. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to put a little bit of a fender action going on here, right? Because even in video games, it can never be too safe. So I'm going to put a fender on this now. Look at that. Obviously, it doesn't have to be perfect. So I'm getting a little anxious. Hang on, hang on, hang on. A lot of clicking. Hey, not bad, huh? Not bad. Okay. That looks like a truck, huh? All right. Now I'm going to do a little bit of like that. Okay. All right. Wow. I mean, I'm not bragging, but that is not too shabby. I'm going to put the little hubcap action on in here now. Maybe like a lighter gray. Nope, 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 nope. Yep. Well, darn it. That's awesome. So there you go. I mean, that's a truck. I just drew a truck, okay? And then here's something that you can do now if you want, but I talked about before. Here's the image points. So when I click on this, you see how it's in the middle? What I really want this thing to be is here in the front. And that doesn't matter now, but it will when we start putting some action and stuff onto this. And then, of course, here's this. Somebody asked about the collision points. I could, if I want now, go ahead and just draw, because for me, it's really nothing. It's a square box, right? But because I have this, what I can do now is right-click, and then it says guess the polygon shape. And there you go. When I do that, it really kind of makes it a lot easier for me that I can do this. And you just want to be mindful of kind of the front edges mostly. This other stuff isn't really too into it there. So there we go. No, I don't like that because I don't want it to actually hit anywhere. So I'll do something like this. Boom. There's my truck. And one thing is, we'll talk about that later. So that's simply how you do it. So now when I X this out, I have a beautiful truck that is off, and to start complicating the game even all that much more. But that's it. That's how you draw. Do the best that you can. You don't have to be perfect, but just get used to kind of using some of those nuances as using that editor, and we'll make a truck. So that's that. Enjoy.